Australia is a great place.
Yeah.
It's perfect for a Pokemon region. There's so much like open space that you can do anything with.
Yeah.
There's Uluru. Most people know it as Ayers Rock. That would be a fantastic, just like area. There's a lot of ocean. There's a lot of rivers, lakes, forests,
There's a lot
desert,
of desert.
a lot of desert.
A lot of desert.
Every Pokemon in the region could kill you because they'd be poisonous.
Yeah.
Poison type on everything.
Honestly,
reminds me of Legends.
it's really the best place for a Pokemon game. I don't even know, like, if they did Australia and Gen 10, I'm like so down. They need to do it eventually.
I like what
also,
Dusty
there's
said.
just so much possible lore with Australia because although like Australia has only been colonized or whatever for a reasonably short time in the grand scheme of the world, the history with the Aboriginal tribes, and there's so many different tribes in Australia, and there's so many different like Dreamtime stories among the different tribes that are all so very interesting. Like you've got the Rainbow Serpent, the story of the crows. There's just so many, and it would lend to such a rich story.
Yeah.
What I'm curious about is, so every Pokemon region's either based off of, I guess except for the Japanese regions, they're based off of either states, or that's the case for the United States, or they're based off of countries, and that's the case with the European countries. Australia is a continent. Australia is also a country. But because it's so big, I wonder if they would split it up, right? If they would only give us part of it, right?
I think that's
For
what
me,
they should
it
do.
wouldn't make sense though, because like maybe as an Australian, I just see Australia as Australia.
Sure, and that could be the case.
But I can't see a way in which you'd be able to separate it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at where the state and territory borders are,
Yeah.
there's no kind of like way
Middle.
to even it off.
Unless that's maybe part of the story in the plot, where there's north, or maybe like, there's east and west Australia, or
There's
whatever the
nothing on the
Australian
rest
region.
side.
What is it?
Yeah, that's the
There's
thing.
nothing much on the rest side.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only thing about the whole continent, really, is that it's basically all desert, like all of that you see. So like it would make sense for them to do one big region because there's not a whole lot in the middle. But
And now with the engines that they're running, they can like five generations ago, Australia, like a full Australian continent
impossible.
region wouldn't have been possible.
yeah.
But now they've got the power to do it.
Interesting. I'm
You'll
trying
need to have a really good ride system
Yeah.
to survive it. But
I wonder though, because it is true, if that's mostly desert and it's actually desert and not just like
it's
sandy area.
very much heavily desert.
Yeah, then
You
they would
do
probably
have some-
truncate that. They would probably put all the sand maybe in the middle of the region, and then this border is based on Perth, and all this greenery is just kind of up here, right? I feel like maybe that's the central part.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely change things around,
There would be
Yeah.
a volcano. There would be a snow mountain, right? There'd be an
We have
electric
a
cave.
volcano in Australia.
I'd
We
love
don't
a
have
desert
much snow.
town. There's not many desert towns,
Yeah.
I feel like. I'd love one.
I mean, I think
There'd
they
be
would.
a lot of good desert towns. Like my hometown is really strange because we're in a weird point where we've got like the city, then we have the desert, then we have a mountain, then we have the ocean all surrounding. So the weather is wild. But
Sure.
a lot of places that are like actual towns in Australia are like that.
Yeah.
But you'll find that a lot of the towns, not all of them, but a lot are on the borderline of the ocean
Yeah.
Naturally,
because they're where it's easiest to inhabit.
I just found Kangaroo Island. That would clearly
Yep, Kangaroo Island is lovely. That's actually really close to my hometown.
but that would in Pokemon.
You're actually very close to my hometown.
that would be that would be Kangaskhan Island, 100%.
Yep, that would be cool. You can actually see my hometown now.
You got
I
I'm feeling
feel like
nostalgic.
they
Okay.
would I feel like they would make like a whole new kangaroo Pokemon though for this region.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, for
I,
sure.
I would hope they would. I'd
Yeah.
like a more like lean, like speedy Pokemon
Yeah, not a kaiju.
versus like the bulky Kangaskhan.
Sure.
Hobart
I
would be
think-
a nice area too.
Yeah. I think
And
they
even
would
in Hobart, there's a lot of different towns to look at.
they would really lean into the desert vibe though, like the whole outback,
Yeah.
you know, like wild wilderness. I
Steve
really think they
Irwin
would.
as our professor or champion?
Yeah. Yes. Champion. Champion.
Both.
Definitely
Both.
the champion.
So,
Yeah.
so
Have neighbors. You could have New Zealand as a DLC.
I was just gonna say I have an
That would be
ignorant
sick.
question. Is
I
that
don't know.
that's like but they've already shown that they're willing to do something like that with
I want to
I
go
think
to the
with
Shire.
Paldea, right? With Paldea, they have Portugal and Spain as one country, as one region.
I know.
So-
They would do it a disservice though, just like they did to Portugal. If
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
did that. I feel
It
like
would.
Portugal,
But it would allow for
Brit, man.
listen.
F in the chat for Portugal.
Yeah, F
yeah,
in the chat.
F in the chat for Portugal, man.
New Zealand would
I
be
think-
closer, and then there'd be water routes in the middle of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would provide them some creativity when it comes to
I think
the routes.
Tasmania. I think
Tasmania would be there as well. Yeah.
That'd be better for a DLC to me personally. But let's let
I would
New
think-
Zealand be something.
Yeah. And then,
But then
all
like,
in
this
the-
up
at the
here.
Tasmania
same-
would need to be main game.
I would think
Probably.
it
It
would
would
all be
probably
main
have
game.
to, but-
I think it would
I
be
think
main
it would
game.
be cool to start on Tasmania and
Yeah, that
like
would be
maybe
cool.
you do like a rural thing, like you haven't been to the mainland Australia yet, and
Sure.
like it's kind of
Oh, that's
it makes
yeah,
the
yeah.
journey more exciting
That
because
would be
like
good.
we're starting our Pokemon journey and we're going to the mainland Australia. I've never been here before, you know.
And it functions
My
like
dad was actually born in Tasmania, so it
Oh,
could be
really?
like his
Cool.
life story.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah.
Your dad will have to pick it up.
It functions like the beginning of Tears of the Kingdom, right? Where you have this like small hub that you explore to learn the game, to learn the functionality of battling and everything, right? You learn the basics, and then you go out to and then the whole world opens up. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. In the end,
Or even if you could start in a place like Alice Springs,
What is that?
which is it's a town not far away from Uluru. It's in like pretty much smack bang in the middle of Australia.
Alice Springs.
yeah, you got it.
you
Yeah.
just literally
Yeah.
zoom-
Wow.
Zoom in on the middle of Australia and you'll
It
find
really
Alice
was in the middle.
Springs.
Okay. Alice Springs.
Yeah, so it's really close
Oh, there's
to
some mountains too.
Uluru.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's next to Uluru, which is like Ayers Rock.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like a cultural, historical kind of spot for Australia because of its proximity to Uluru. But because it's the center, it would pretty much let you wander out in whatever direction you want.
That's cool. Yeah. And then it's like choose your own adventure. That is cool. It's interesting because it's like the Pokemon regions that we know were grid based for so long, and now that we're talking about future gens, like I feel like we have to anticipate that they're going to be open world, like Scarlet and Violet. Hopefully, function better. But it really it kind of doesn't stump me, but I'm curious how the gameplay would actually function because yeah, open world's great, but it still has to have some sort of like it can't just be flat land, right? There's gotta be some game design right behind it all.
I think the reason we didn't see that with Scarlet and Violet is honestly just because it was their first time with
Yeah.
open world.
Definitely.
I
yeah.
would hope that like the next
Gonna be
open
better.
world game, whether it's Japan, Australia, or something we haven't named, would just they would master the not making the world so bland.
Yeah.
You know, Scarlet and Violet's got some really pretty areas. It also has some really boring areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
In the
Yeah,
end,
like if they
I
did
just
do
want it to
Australia,
be-
they'd need to kind of like creatively lessen the amount of desert.
Yeah.
yeah, they
Um,
would. They would.
I feel like
But
they would
yeah, it's
contain the
definitely
desert.
doable.
Like it would be more of an arid region in general. I'm imagining the arid regions of the United States. I'm thinking of Arizona, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It would. I'm sure it's different culturally, but there can be a vibe that feels arid, but the actual desert's just in the middle, and then you have all these
Right.
other beautiful areas on the coast. It is kind of cool.
Well,
It functions like
if you-
Unova in that way.
If you go up from Alice Springs up into Darwin area, you've got Kakadu, which is a kind of like forest wetland
Yeah.
kind of thing, rainforest, which would be really nice, I think.
What kind of Pokemon do you think they would add? Like, what are like 5 iconic Australian things that you would be like, this has to be in it, even if it's food, even if it's cultural?
You'd need to have a platypus.
Oh yeah,
I think
that's a
he
starter.
would rampage if there's no platypus.
Platypus, water starter, fire type.
No,
kangaroo,
not the water starter. Make it in the wild.
Firefighting kangaroo starter.
Yep.
No, you're taking the most.
Kamala was kind of subpar, so I'd like
Yeah.
to see like a kind of ferocious, kind of like drop bear kind of.
It would
Yeah,
definitely
like a
get
grass
a
type
form.
starter.
It would get a form, Kamala, no doubt.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That'd be cool.
Or an evolution.
An evolution
Yeah.
would be cool.
More lizards.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Male
there's a lizard called I think if I remember, blue tongue lizard.
Sure.
And they're really weird because their head and their tail look the same.
Yeah.
I know which one it is, yeah.
Yeah. That would make for an interesting design because their head and tail are the same, of course.
I think it would be cool to
And
see,
they
like,
have a
if it's
really
got
cool
blue
blue
tongue,
tongue.
make it an ice
Yep.
type.
Yeah. I actually.
Oh no, that's not the one I was thinking of. What is it? It's been so
Okay.
long since I've been to Australia.
It's it's got like a mimic tail, like its tail looks like its head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I can't think of its name though.
I
And
don't know what it's called.
if we could have like a wattle, like a God, I can't remember a lot of the English words. Red wattle. South Australia.
Wattrel?
You could just
And
yeah, Wattrel. It's a Wattrel.
it's kind of like oh God, I can't remember the name. It's a flower that's red and it's stirred pea. Is it a stirred pea?
Oh, I don't. The
Sorry,
flowers.
I'm just.
Who knows?
Flowers all mega
It would
evolution.
make stirred pea.
Oh, those things
Look
are
up
crazy.
stirred pea. That would make
do you
it
spell that?
interesting.
Stirred pea?
STURT.
STURP.
RT.
RT. Sorry. Wait. I've lost it.
STURT.
RT. This thing?
Oh, that's crazy looking.
Make for an interesting grass type.
That is really
Pokemon.
pretty. The like the dark part looks like a red. That looks like a face.
The
It's got-
face, right?
That's cute. That would be really cute. Look at it. Or it looks like Executor almost. Like there'd be multiple heads.
Looks like the Imperial, like guards in Star Wars.
Yeah, it does. That's really cool. That's it. I like that pick. That would definitely be a cool Pokemon.
And of course, great white shark.
Oh,
Yes,
of course.
yes.
Ooh.
There's so many. You could do way more than 5 animals.
I
I'll tell you
know.
what.
Redback spider, funnel web
Yeah.
spider, tarantula.
There's
Like
tons
you
of-
could have like 10 spiders,
Yeah,
So like that.
and snakes.
and they could all kill you.
Yeah.
What?
Like I've said it several times in an Australian region, you don't need an evil team.
Just have a great
Just
white
Just have
shark.
like
all
the
the
Pokemon out to kill
Yeah.
you.
Maybe it's like the reverse. I guess that would be kind of like Team Plasma. I'm trying to think of a joke. Like maybe the evil team is like cowardly. They're like, no, like we band together because we're afraid of Pokemon.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
could
like a
live in
similar
that world
plot
in
in
an
Legends,
Australian
right?
region.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me this though, when I don't know, I feel like when people think of a shark Pokemon, even though we have a lot of shark Pokemon, not a lot, but we have
Yeah,
some shark Pokemon.
we don't have a lot.
Not a lot, but we have shark Pokemon, right? Obviously, it's gonna be water type, but I feel like it could be what type would it be? Like water fighting for a true great white, and would it look like? Would this actually translate to an actual Pokemon? Like, would it actually be a full shark, or would it be changed in a way, kind of like Satitan is like a land dweller, or Sharpedo doesn't have a tail, right? Like how do you think this could be interpreted as a Pokemon, or could it just be as is? Be dragon fighting?
Do
I was
you?
thinking dragon.
I don't know if it was also
So
in America. I
ferocious.
think it probably was, but like back in the 90s, there was this weird cartoon with these kind of like humanoid sharks.
Yeah,
Exactly what you're talking
yeah.
I could see it being like that.
Like a
They're
human.
like like the big shark. They're like, oh dude, what was it called? They're like muscle
Shark tails?
sharks.
Mm.
No, I don't think it's
Like
shark
the
tails.
people from Aquaman. Or is it Aquaman?
You know what
I
I'm
had-
talking
I'm
sure
about, though,
Aquaman
right,
has
Sol?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to have toys of them. I don't
Yeah,
know what.
same,
Oh,
same.
the villains on Pirates of the Caribbean. Davy Jones's
This?
crew.
No, not
No,
that.
no, no. Oh, let me see if I can find it.
Baby Shark?
Maybe type in like
90s
Shark Monster.
Shark
Maybe.
toys. Maybe
You'll find
that
it if you
will-
type in 90s Shark toys. I think.
Street Sharks.
90s shark card.
Street Sharks.
Oh,
I would
yeah, they're right
never
here.
have remembered that.
Street Shark.
No, I've never
Yes.
I've never seen this. Oh, it's a
I've
video.
never seen it either, but I wasn't a 90s kid, so.
I had I think the Hammerhead one. They're so cool.
I could see a great white shark resembling like
Yeah.
this in the Pokemon world.
That would
Yeah,
be kind
it
of
would-
that's like a rival
It'd
to
be like against. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's a rival against
Oh.
what's it called? Garchomp.
Palafin? Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking Paladin.
I was
Oh,
thinking
no,
the
no.
villain to
Yeah,
Palafin.
that's been something I've been like floating on Twitter for a while. I think that'd be the coolest idea. If we get a rival
And it
to
would
Palafin,
make-
it's the villain. Yeah.
It would make sense as like water fighting water dark.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
Totally. It'd probably be dark type, water dark, or fighting dark. Yeah.
Give
mean,
it the
weird
ability hero to
torpedo.
zero. If you switch it out, it goes into the bad form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to zero.
Mm.
Yeah.